Satyajit Ray, born 2nd May 1921 to 23rd April 1992, was an Indian film director, writer and illustrator. Satyajit Ray was born to Sukumar Ray, who single-handedly brought nonsensical verse to Bengali literature in the form of Abul Tabul. His grandfather Upendra Kishore Rai Chaudhuri had introduced Bengali folk literature for children. These two former generations of the Rai family had contributed immensely to the Bengali literature. So, Satyajit Ray took it upon himself to use the film media to help it reach out to the millions across the globe. Satyajit Ray was drawn into independent filmmaking by meeting the French filmmaker Jean Renoir and viewing Vittorio De Siva's Italian neorealist film Bicycle Thieves, released in the year 1948 during one of his London visits. Satyajit Ray directed 36 films, documentaries and short stories. He authored several short stories and novels meant primarily for the young children and the teenagers. Today, we take this opportunity to present to you Satyajit Ray, the writer, the publisher, the illustrator, the calligrapher, and of course, the graphic designer. Thank you.
First, I will request you all to draw a simple horizontal line on a paper. Now, watch intensely. This line that you have drawn is a timeline of a writer. What is a timeline? A timeline is a thought process of a writer. The way he thinks is the way he depicts his work. Most of us work in a haphazard manner, and our thought process cannot be depicted in a single line. But this was not the case with Satyajit Ray. You see that line you have drawn is his fundamental of work. Now notice closely. You have two endpoints of the line that you have drawn and a middle point. If you mark on these 3 points, you will be getting a timeline of tenses. What are the 3 tenses? Past, present, and future. Now, let us try some relativity theory regarding Satyajit Ray's field of work. If you notice very closely, you will see that he began working first with all things that were made in the past. That is, patherpanchali by Vibhutibhushan Bandyopadhyay, Gopika in Baghabain by Upendra Kishore Rai Chaudhuri, and even Sandesh by his father Sukumar Rai. So, that is the first point of your line that you have drawn. That is the past which he celebrated through his work. Now, you come to the middle point, which is the present tense. Now, the time era of Satyajit Ray's work is in 1970s. Therefore, you see feluda because there was no child fiction at that point of time. Soumitra Chattopadhyay was moving to his peak. Apu of Patherpanchali had grown up. So, there was Apur Sangsar. And of course, you had the legend Uttam Kumar. And so, Nayak was made. Now, the projection of both the past and the present is little easier. Most writers can formulate it. And then he was a Bengali, so he had to pay tribute to Rabindranath Tagore. So Charulata was made. But now you come to the difficult path, the unknown future which lay ahead. But all writers are motivated with a temptation, not money, not riches, but one legacy. And that legacy is the future. So, A person in the year 1960 to 1970 starts talking about the future with Professor Shonku. The experiment that Shonku made, the learning of his voice modulation, teaching his crow to speak, a future distinct world in the faraway galaxies with pterodons roaming in India, was all the brainchild of this writer. So, if you draw that line, it ends with the future. But, like every writer, even he was scared of time. Even such a maestro felt that he could be erased with time. So, he brought about another master plan. He went on and completed Opur Shangshar with Oporajito. And it went on to hit. The Bengali nostalgia, which was to listen to ghost stories from grandparents, hence Tarini Khuror Golpo was born. So, the one thing that you can learn from him out of the thousands and millions is that a maestro like him was never completely complacent. He drew a line and completed all the genres of time and writing. First, past with ghost, supernatural, grandparents, and obviously with the work of all those writers before him. The next, transcended time with detective stories and science fiction, family drama, as well as paying homage to Bengali's favorite martini idol, Uttam Kumar. And the third, talked about the future and prospects in science and development with Professor Shonku and 35 of his global experiments. So, you find Rabindranath Tagore in the past, Uttam Kumar in the present, and Satyajit Ray forever and ever.